We are talking about the subject of why people do what they do, why teenagers and adults do what they do. And we have seen the illustration of the iceberg. We are looking at the bottom of the iceberg, and we have seen that that bottom is because of disappointments. We have seen 3 reasons for disappointments: unfailing love, a lack of it, a lack of significance, and a lack of security. And at the close of the last session, we mentioned that when a child is disappointed, they come up with a basic belief. Now we are moving from the lower part of our iceberg into the middle part, part B of the isosceles triangle, the basic beliefs. Now, basic beliefs accumulate around the core of disappointment. As the teenager grows, they feel betrayed by life. They feel betrayed by their parents. They feel betrayed by their friends. They feel betrayed by their siblings. Sometimes they even feel betrayed by God. And they develop anger and resentment towards these relationships. And as they develop this anger and resentment, a new belief system kicks in. And this belief system is designed to protect the teenager from further hurt. The belief system goes something like this: I can come up with ways to take care of myself without depending on anybody. I can walk through life. I can gain love and significance and acceptance and security all by myself. They say, I don't need you. They say, I don't need God. I don't need anyone. I will make it through life all by myself. And as I make this statement, some of you as parents are reflecting on that is exactly what you went through. And that's perhaps exactly what you're still going through. And some of you have come to believe that you can't trust anyone except yourself. And what you're going through is you are needing to protect yourself from pain. While the need for protection from pain is valid, parents, what is the folly behind this belief system? What happens when the teenager lets himself or lets herself down? You know what happens? That teenager has run out of options. That teenager has disconnected from relationships that can give them significance and love and security, and they are going through life all by themselves. That teenager begins to look for pain relief options, which include drugs. They include dropping out of school. They include family conflict. They include sex. Parents, Proverbs 16:25 says, there is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. The teenager is looking for options, but the end of that path of options is the way of death. So this foolish behavior system, foolish belief system begins early in life when the thinking is concrete thinking, but cements itself in the adolescent portion of life as the thinking shifts from concrete to formal. And if there are no interventions, this person gets into young adulthood with this faulty way of thinking. And once that thinking pattern has been cemented, it becomes very hard to change it. Disappointments leave us emotionally exposed. Therefore, we feel justified in our actions. You see, in a functional home, even though you go through disappointments, you speak truth to one another. You confess that I broke the glass. You confess I've been suspended from school. When you speak truth to one another based on the word of God, people honor one another. As a result of honor, there is peace in the home. You know, a functional home, everything is not smooth, but there is peace. They are remembering to put into action that verse we talked about. Above all else, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sins. Love covers the broken glass. It was an accident, but if you are angry, you look at it as if it's deliberate. So there is truth, which brings honor, which brings peace, and there is healthy behavior. But in a dysfunctional home, instead of truth, you have lies. Instead of honor, you have shame. Instead of peace, you have pain. And instead of healthy behavior, you have destructive behavior. In this dysfunctional home, people have to lie to one another to survive. They shame one another to survive. They go through pain, and the home becomes destructive. In the meantime, the teenager is growing into a young adult, growing ever more distant from his parents. Am I talking to you? Do you feel distant from your parents? Do you realize that the things that have made you distant are the disappointments that you went through in life? The basic beliefs naturally lead to the top part of our triangle, of our iceberg. C part of our iceberg is the guiding strategies. Now, it is these strategies that are partially visible on top of the waterline. The basic beliefs help us to come up with strategies that will protect us from pain, and these strategies determine the behavior that we go through. We use these strategies to help us achieve our goals. We use these strategies to help us protect ourselves from further disappointment and further hostility from our relationships. Now, what are some of the strategies that we go through? I'll mention some of them. The first one, I'll call it the good kid strategy. Now you're wondering, what's wrong with that? Well, listen carefully as I describe this situation. Your child goes to school, they've got their books, they've got their pencil kit. Their pencil kit has got a pencil and an eraser, it's got a pen and a sharpener. But your child decides they're going to carry 2 or 3 pencils just in case someone in school did not carry their pencil. That's a good thing. It's a good kid. So they arrive in school and they are seated and they are working, and their desk mate, sure enough, forgot their pencil. And they turn to you, Aaron, do you have an extra pencil? And Aaron is so happy to pull out that pencil. But as they are pulling it out, Jessica on the desk 2 desks away has noticed that Aaron's desk mate has no pencil and quickly hands him a pencil. Now Aaron pulls out his pencil and realizes that it's not needed anymore. Now Aaron feels crushed. Now wait a minute, why are they crushed? It's because they derive their significance from being good. They give their extra pen to their deskmate so they can get praise, so they can get significance. Aaron wasn't just carrying a pen to meet a need. They are carrying that pen as a strategy to get praise when they give it. Do you see the subtle difference here? The child is good, but their goodness is not just goodness on its own. Their goodness is designed to give them significance. And when their offer is not accepted, they crash. So that's a strategy that's very, very easy to miss out as a parent. Here's another strategy. The defiant child. The child who uses power, or intimidation, and anger to control parents. And as they get big and body size, they come home and they're demanding things. They bang the door freak, they bang their bedroom door, and they just have a bubble of anger around them, and nobody dares touch that child. They have gone through some things, but they're trying to shed off, they're trying to wall off relationships by being defiant and by being angry all the time. But there's another strategy, the manipulative child. This child is extremely personable. They are charming to the point of being seductive. You come home and they come and sit next to you and say, "Oh, Dad, I like your tie. Is that a new tie?" And you know it's not the tie they're talking about. They're just trying to charm you so they can ask you something. The other children know that when this child goes to Dad, they always get what they want. The kids want to have pizza for dinner, but they know if they ask for it, they won't get it. But if they send little Monica, Monica can get Dad to say anything, to get anything they want. And so Monica is sitting there, put their arm around you. "Dad, is that a new haircut?" And then suddenly, "Dad, can we have ice cream and pizza tonight?" And dad has been melted into saying yes. This child is manipulative. The other kids are peeping in and seeing, says, yes, we got what you wanted. And perhaps as an adult today, you're going through life manipulating other people. It's a strategy to give you love, significance, and security.